Hey guys, even Netflix Game here, and today I want to talk about something that I've seen going around on social media, and that's Netflix Game shutting down. Obviously, Netflix Games isn't shutting down, and hopefully it won't shut down for a long time, whatever. But let me just explain something, right? Obviously, I've made a video in the past saying about the comparisons of Netflix Games to Google Stadia, and just why comparisons are unfair and make no sense to me. Well, let me explain one little thing. Right, Google Stadia lasted about 18 months making games, never actually released a game, and the service only lasted for about 3 years before it was announced it was going to be shut down. Now, Netflix Games that's obviously been in existence, well, at least Netflix has owned game studios since 2021, since September 2021 when they bought Night School Studios, and currently Netflix Games does offer about 50 titles to play for no extra cost to subscribers. So there's that, and then you also got to realize that Netflix Games is obviously investing big in new games. Obviously, you got Netflix also developing at least I think it's like 15 new games are currently in development for Netflix games that we know of. Obviously, 14 have been confirmed for mobile. One was obviously confirmed for PC. So we could potentially be seeing a lot more games on Netflix games. Now, there is obviously potential that games get cancelled, games get scrapped, but there seems to be a general consensus online that Netflix games are shutting down. Now, I don't know why this rumor's come about, but I can give a theory, right? And the theory I have is obviously it's not going to be a popular one amongst people because personally, I kind of think it comes down to console wars. Now, for those who don't know what console wars is just people basically arguing on social media like, or which console's better, this one or this one, and it all comes down to which one you like more. Like there's people saying that Nintendo Switch is best, some people say Xbox is best, some places say PlayStation's best. You know, it's all down to the opinion of the person who is playing the games, what platform they own. But because Netflix Games sort of offers an alternative to those traditional platforms that we've had established for, well, in Sony's case, in PlayStation's case, it's been like 30 years. Nintendo's been like for decades, and then obviously Microsoft's obviously been like 20 years. So, because it's obviously because Netflix Games is now sort of seen as sort of its own thing. I think people are kind of a bit worried about that, and people don't really want that because they want Netflix to just be their film and TV service. They don't really want gaming on Netflix, but to me, it was a logical step because obviously, as obviously more streamers entered the streaming wars, Netflix kind of just had to evolve. They couldn't really, you know, sit there and hide it. They had to step up and, you know, compete. So to me personally, I get it, but I think the rumors that Netflix is shut down, Netflix Games is dead, or Netflix Games is this, and a lot of YouTubers will push this narrative. I've seen it like when it was announced the PC game was in development. So many YouTubers reported on it, and they were just like, "Oh, wow, this is bad." And the reason they said it was bad because well, apparently they're developing a free to play game. Well, here's the thing: if it's a free to play game, I don't see the problem with a free to play game. But people say, "Oh, it's got microtransactions." Well, yeah, you do realize the game's not going to be free when you have to spend millions of dollars making the game. You know, logically it makes no sense. Like, you do realize nothing on Netflix is free, right? People who sit there and like, oh, Netflix games is free. Technically, it's not. Technically, you're still paying a monthly subscription to access to games, but people won't think it. People don't think of it like that because it's included with the subscription. It's seen as like, oh, well, this is free, right? What you got to realize, guys, is nothing included in the subscription is ever free. It is just available to you because you've purchased the subscription. That's how every subscription works. Game Pass, you know, gym memberships, all that sort of stuff. It's all available to you because you pay for it, right? You just haven't got to pay all this money up front. It's a recurring fee. So if all these people sitting there going, "Oh, Netflix Games is dead because I don't play it," well, if you don't personally play it, big deal. You know, that doesn't mean it's dead. You know, people can enjoy games on whatever platform they want. You know, I didn't personally like playing mobile games until obviously Netflix Games came out. But now, obviously, I'm making videos using playing mobile games. I'm playing a mobile game right now in this video, and I don't know it just kind of annoys me because you see all these comments and people are like, "Oh, it's bad," and my mentality is like, "Why is it bad?" Netflix Games is just investing millions into to obviously new games, new studios, and it's bad. Why is it bad? Is it because you don't like Netflix? Is it because you don't want Netflix involved in gaming, or like why? Because for years everyone was talking about a Netflix like model for games, and obviously we've seen that with a few different services. We had like OnLive, we had Stadia Pro, we've obviously got PS Plus, we've got Xbox Game Pass, but now Netflix is actually doing it. Netflix is actually making games as well, and some of the games are based on Netflix's own IPs. It makes you question like why is it now a problem? Because for years people wanted a Netflix game service. You know, people wanted a subscription service where they could get hundreds of games for a cheap monthly fee. And now there's multiple different alternatives for it. Somehow it's a problem. See, I don't personally understand what the problem with Netflix gaming is, but people going around saying, "Oh, it's dead," just because they don't personally use it. To me, it's kind of sad because it's like, well, I get you don't have to enjoy the platform. You haven't got to enjoy Netflix games. I'm not saying you have to like everything that's on Netflix. I'm not saying you have to enjoy every game on Netflix games, but I'm saying it's dead because you don't personally use it or because you don't really hear many people talk about it. That's not the case. It's dead when the servers go down. It's dead when Netflix stops supporting it. You know. But people like the little narratives online. They like to push things like, "Oh, this platform's dead." It's dead because they don't hear anyone talk about it, or it's dead because they don't personally hear about it in their little echo chamber. So to them, it's dead, right? Well, if you're, say, an Xbox fan or a PlayStation fan or a Nintendo fan, you're not going to hear about Netflix games, are you? You know, you're going to hear about, oh, my platform of choice is doing this, this, and this. If you're a Stadia fan, you heard about Netflix all the time. Because Netflix and Stadia was always getting compared. It was always Stadia's Netflix of gaming. It wasn't, you know. And we're at the point now where Stadia's gone, but Netflix can potentially continue to grow in the market. Yeah, and it's just how it is. Now, I've got to admit, Netflix is growing. Netflix is doing quite well, you know. And with the games, they have so many games that they already own that they haven't made available. It's confusing to me because people are just sort of, people are just sort of like trying to get people to get mad. You know, that's literally how it is on the internet. It's all about negativity sells. Negativity is always the way forward. But I've seen a load of YouTubers and whatnot getting mad because Netflix is making a PC game and Netflix is making games. Like, people have known about Netflix games for over a year. And these guys are like reporting on the news of a PC game like it's the first time Netflix has stepped into the gaming industry. And it's like, well, you do realize Netflix licensed Stranger Things to be turned into games many years ago. You know, people don't realize this, but Stranger Things 1984 is like, I believe it came out in 2016. You know, it's an old game. But to these guys, it's like, oh, Netflix has just stepped into gaming, guys. They're developing their own games. So yeah, we've known this for years. You know, they've for over a year. You know, they've obviously licensed Stranger Things to be turned into games multiple times. They now own one of the studios who made a Stranger Things game. But to a lot of people, it's just kind of surprising because obviously Netflix is Netflix. People thought Netflix was just going to be a film and TV company. They never looked at Netflix as an entertainment company. And that's what you got to realize. Netflix is an entertainment brand. You know, Netflix isn't about, what shows sell one. They're about entertaining people. They make shows and films that entertain people. They make games that entertain people. That's how Netflix makes its money, by being an entertainment company. You know, that's kind of how entertainment companies work. You know, and I've also seen people saying that Netflix games will fail because every other major media company has sort of like left the gaming space besides Warner Brothers. Well, if that's true, why didn't Sony? Because Sony is technically an entertainment company. Sony has a film division, music division. You know, they have a game division. The game division has been the most profitable part of the company, from what we've heard. So it's sort of like, to me, it just sort of looks like people are just looking for outrage. People want to have something to be mad about, and they want to be mad about Netflix games because it's like, oh, I don't want them to make the games. Well, too bad. They're making games. People are playing the games. You know, people will say, oh, Netflix games is dead because it only had 1.7 million people daily concurrent users. That's more than Stadia had, and Netflix games has less games than Stadia did. You know, Netflix games is in a really good position because they've got games, they've got IPs, and they've got good financial backing. You know, Netflix has several great studios working on great games for them. People just need to chill with the madness. People just need to stop, getting mad about every little thing, going, oh, well, how dare they? Like, people were making it seem like Netflix said something really wrong or did something really bad, but all they did was make a video game, and somehow they were they were the Antichrist, which is ironic because Netflix owns a version of American Jesus. So to me personally, I kind of feel like Netflix just needs to keep playing it safe, keep doing what they're doing. Netflix game isn't dead and it's not going anywhere. Right, and there's a running joke with me and some people, or some of my friends, obviously, that Netflix games is going to outlast Stadia. Because in order for Netflix games to outlast Stadia, the studios are just going to have to last till May 2023. And I do see Netflix continuing to invest in gaming, as obviously it leads to higher attention on content on Netflix. And obviously that's what they want. They want people to keep paying for Netflix. They want people to keep subscribing. They want people to keep, watching and finding new shows and movies and whatnot. And entertainment's the whole game with Netflix. But people will go, well, Netflix is dead. Netflix games is dead because I don't play them. Well, if you don't play the games, fine, but that doesn't mean it's dead. I don't play games on PlayStation. I'm not going to go and say the PlayStation platform's dead. You know, I didn't play games on. Well, I own a Switch, but I don't really play games on my Nintendo Switch. So is that dead? Is that a dead platform because I don't play on it? Because that's sort of how these people think. And if you ever see someone saying Netflix games is dead, when there's no confirmation of Netflix of such a thing happening, then just take it with a pinch of salt, guys. I just want to sort of make this as like a PSA sort of thing, because Netflix games isn't going anywhere. Netflix games is literally designed to help boost engagement on Netflix. They're not gonna shut down anytime soon, especially if it's working, because they have said that Netflix games has basically kept more people subscribed, so that's a good thing. To me personally, I hope we see Netflix continue to grow and evolve in the gaming space, and obviously I'll be keeping an eye on all of it here. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you think Netflix games is dead? Do you think it's not? What's your thoughts on this stupid little thing that goes around online every time a game platform exists? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.